Hello, and welcome to Revamped, a rewatch podcast covering my all-time favorite shows and movies. I'm your host, Brandon Alexander.
And I'm your co-host, Courtney Autumn.
Together, we've been journeying through Buffy the Vampire Slayer, patrolling the streets of Sunnydale, but now our path expands beyond the Hellmouth as we continue to follow Buffy's battles and growth.
We also step into the shadowy streets of Los Angeles to join Angel on his quest for redemption and his fight to discover what it truly means to be a champion.
Venture with us through every episode in order as we experience the story from two perspectives, Courtney's first time watch and my seasoned rewatch, doubling down on the themes and moments that shape the Buffyverse.
We'll examine pivotal choices, major story arcs, and explore the deeper layers of each show's continued character growth and development.
All while engaging in conversations and sharing our own authentic thoughts and feelings to what's unfolding before us.
So sharpen your stakes, ready your swords,
and continue to stand with us against the forces of darkness as we journey through the supernatural worlds of Buffy the Vampire Slayer
and Angel.
Let's get into this episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to this episode of Revamped. Today we are here to cover Angel.
Season 1, Episode 10.
Parting gifts.
The gifts that are parting. I need some gifts. This was a gift to us on December 14th, 1999. It was written by David Fury and Janine Renshaw and directed by James A. Cottner. Before we get started, we'd like to welcome someone new to Revamped and our first guest for an Angel episode. Joining us today is Stacey. Some of you may know her from Instagram through Hyperion Horrors, where she creates those incredible Angel and Buffyverse enamel pins. Welcome, and thanks for coming to do this special episode of Angel with us, Stacey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited. Thank you.
I did get to show Courtney recently because I knew we were talking about all your pins that are in plethora behind you right now that nobody can see because this is audio only. Oh, yeah. But you have so many pins behind you.
I do.
I need to see them all at some point.
Yes.
But I showed Courtney one of your Doyle ones that you had the other day since we kind of like got to the end of Hero and stuff like that too. So she's seen like a couple. I showed her the Cordelia one with the orange shirt and the crossbow.
Yes,
so she's been able to see some of your stuff, but a lot of your stuff is very spoiler territory. So
I can't look at
steering clear of your Instagram page.
We'll get there eventually.
Oh yeah. And it's true though. There's a lot of later season pins, I guess, but I'm working through them. We're doing it.
So this is kind of pretty much our meeting. Other than talking to you a little bit on Instagram and interacting and comments and stuff on your posts that you make myself, we don't know much about you personally. We just found out before coming in here that you live in Canada, and I did not know that. I thought you were in the States somewhere, but I just knew you were Eastern time zone. Yeah. So you're not our first guest from Canada because we've had like several friends there that we've recorded with, which is awesome. Yeah. We wish we were there instead of here most times. But if you'd like to give us a little more insight into who you are and like what brought you to Buffy and Angel, obviously the collective, the Buffyverse, since we're like teeter-tottering between the two shows, I'm going to have to really work hard on this one because like I said, first guest on Angel, I was even coming here talking about, hey, you're going to do the Brandon with us. And I was like, no, this is Angel. We can't do that here. So, yes, but tell us more about you.
Oh, thank you. Well, yes, I'm based out of Canada. What got me into Buffy was when it first aired, actually. When it first aired on March 10th of 97, I had just turned 12. I'm 41 right now. So I've been there kind of through the beginning of it. And I feel very grateful and lucky to have like grown up with that show and to come into collecting the merchandise and things like that, which also includes perhaps Buffyverse pins eventually. And shout out to all the pin makers. Everybody's just been so amazing, and I absolutely love collecting Buffy merch, official and non-official. And that's kind of what eventually got me into pin making. I thought, I'm just a collector, and obviously I'm lying to myself. So that's what I did. I made them, and there's a huge pin community there, and we've got a lot of Buffyverse, not as much Angel the series, and I just wanted to kind of really focus on giving them a bit of the light, just because I didn't see as many, although there are definitely pin makers that do make Angelverse pins.
Sure.
I just wanted to see these pins in my own collection. So I was like, well, I'm going to create them. I work with a wonderful artist, 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐴 Pins, and it's just wonderful to actually just have those ideas and like sketch them in my crudely sketchbook, in my sketchbook of them, create the actual idea and figure out what I want to do and just go for it. And now I've made probably like 20 pins, give or take, including variants, and I'm having a lot of fun because I'm very passionate about it. So thank you.
It's still going on. I'm assuming that since you chose to like be the niche group of people that are really focusing on Angel, that's kind of where the name Hyperion Horrors come from as well, too.
Definitely.
Slightly, again, spoiler territory. I'm going to leave it there on that. We'll figure out what that means maybe one day.
Just a name.
It's just a name.
That's right, just a name.
No, it always means something. Well, I love that because that was going to be one of my next questions, was what got you into the pin making and things like that as well, too. So
there you go.
Absolutely love that. Since we're here to obviously talk about the Buffyverse with the focus on Angel, what's your favorite season of Buffy and what's your favorite season of Angel?
Buffy favorite season, probably 3 and 5. I have to choose both of them. There's something magical about high school years, right? Mm-hmm. But there's something just really magical about season 5. It was just really enjoyable, and more enjoyable the more you watch it. But yeah, and then for Angel, gonna have some controversial opinions. I'm not gonna, no spoilers, but let me tell you, I love season 4 of Angel. I do. I don't like that one thing, but if you remove that one thing, there are amazing things going on there. And I just can't. I'm not going to talk about it, but yes, absolutely love it.
No, I love that. Yeah, and honestly, we'll have to bring you on in the future to talk more about it. Obviously, like I started with Buffy and stuff like this on the podcast, and when we started to switch to Angel, I never really talked about like my experience with moving over to Angel or anything like that, or like why I like the show. I mean, I've talked about both so synonymously. There, like that's why I told Courtney she almost had to watch this one, even if we didn't record it. She needed to watch it so she knew all these crossovers and everything that kind of happens for Angel thereafter, because he was such an important part of Buffy.
Exactly.
But to tell everybody now, like seasons 2 and 4 are my favorites of Angel, and that is controversial when you get into season 4 territory just because of everything that goes down in there. But like,
I agree,
some of the most incredible parts and like character development occurs in that season, and it's such an awesome fucking season.
It is awesome.
It was one of my favorite DVD box sets to get whenever I got it for Christmas and stuff like that too. Like I've watched that one the most. So I completely agree on season 4 and season 2 kind of for the same ones, but honestly, if I had to choose between those two, I'd probably choose 4 as my favorite.
I agree.
So,
and you're right. 2 and 4 of Angel. We're on the same page. I can't wait for you to see this, Courtney. I can't wait.
I just can't wait to know like what everyone's talking about when they accidentally slip up and say stuff. I'm like,
fair enough.
What does that mean?
She just goes and asks her girlfriend. Her girlfriend says, "So there's the
no, that is not true. Brandon's never gonna let Meredith live down. The one time, literally, it's happened one time where she slipped up and said something, and I was like, "No, you're not supposed to tell me that." And she's like, "Oh shit, I didn't realize that." I was like, "Yeah, no, I can't know anything." And she was like, "Oh, okay, pretend I didn't say that." I was like, "Okay."
She gonna come home from them drinks tonight with them loose lips. But we talking about Angel today, so we ain't gotta worry.
That's true. She's never really seen Angel. So.
Hopefully for you, she comes home with loose lips in a different way.
Shut the hell up.
All right, you guys, let's officially get into the actual episode. In this one, still reeling from Doyle's sacrifice, Angel struggles to move forward when a frightened demon seeks his help, while Cordelia discovers that Doyle left her with one final gift. As a dangerous predator hunts supernatural abilities across Los Angeles, Angel is reunited with an unexpected face from Sunnydale, forcing the team to confront grief, purpose, and what comes next for Angel investigations. That's a long one. I feel like they're all long these days. There's so much that goes on. Guest stars this episode, we have Maury Sterling playing Barney. Lawrence Turner is portraying Hank. Henry Kenji is the Kungai demon. And we have reprising his role, Alexis Denisof is back appearing as Wesley Wyndham Price.
Crazy.
Which throws me right into Courtney to ask you, did you expect Wesley to appear at any time in this show or back on Buffy?
No, not at all. I actually think that at one point you told me like verbatim that we don't see him on Buffy again, which I don't know if that's like true or not, but I'm like, I don't believe you now. But I know this is a different show. So I was like, that made me even less expect him, because I just, when you said Buffy, for some reason in my head, it means both shows, I guess. So I was like, oh yeah, he's like dead and gone from this whole situation. And is it weird that like when they first show him, like quickly, you know, when they reveal him. It took me a second. I was like, wait, who is that? I was like, he is so familiar.
He wasn't wearing the suit.
Yeah, and then when he started talking, I was like, it's Giles Jr. because I forgot. I forgot his name for a second too. I was like, my memory is the absolute worst. But I was not expecting to see him. It was a nice surprise. I appreciated what he brought to the episode. It was fun. His character.
What did you think of the episode and what occurred in it? Obviously, with Cordelia and like figuring out. I feel like it's so long ago that we recorded Hero because we've had to postpone all of our recordings the last couple of weeks. So we were like kind of out of sync in a way.
I know. I can't even remember what I said for the predictions for this or whatever. If I like.
You predicted
because I know that you gave me like a breadcrumb or something because obviously like that parting gifts can go so many ways, and then I wasn't really thinking about what Doyle did. But yeah, that is crazy to have this element of Cordelia now having a supernatural ability for, you know, I guess that's what we'll call it. That was nice. I like the tie-in of that. I like the tie-in of Wesley, and I like Angel and his dynamic. That brought me a lot of like laughs this episode. And overall, I think it was a great episode. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was both like perfectly funny in the ways that it was meant to be, and perfectly like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now, and what's everyone's purpose, you know? I don't know if it's just me, I was a little confused when I saw Wesley. I was like, wait, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Like, where are we at here? So I like the plot twistiness, kind of. It has a taste of that, and I like that a lot on really anything on movies or shows, but especially here. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, this episode has been this season, and especially Angel, the show, has been doing a lot of bait and switch stuff. Like, we get that a little bit here and there on Buffy every now and again, where you think one thing's occurring and then it just flips the tail of, like, especially midway through or the end. But like the whole Barney situation and all that stuff that was occurring. Yeah. The first time I ever watched it, I was just like thrown by this. I was like, wait, what? This is what's occurring? Like, obviously I had my suspicions that that's what was occurring with Cordelia, because they very visually show us that blue light going into her mouth, and I'm just like, clearly he's passing something on her. What is the one thing that he could technically leave her with? And then back in the day when I saw this, I think I got to roll into the next episode and just watch it. I don't know if I was watching reruns on like TNT when they played, or like what when I saw this season, because I wasn't watching Angel. I was watching Buffy after season 3 on like the nights that it would premiere and stuff like that. But oftentimes I didn't get to watch Angel until much later. Another little bit of my lore drop with Angel. Not because I didn't want to, just because like my parents made me go to bed, and I think Angel come on at like 9 o'clock and Buffy came on at like 8 or some shit like that too. So it took me a little bit to get in sync with the shows and start watching them. But I think it was like around Buffy season like 5 or something was whenever I started watching. And then, you know, they were like, we're going to leave the WB, bye. So I was just left with Angel. I was watching Angel and Charmed in sync, I think, at that point too, because a Charmed would come on, I think, and then an Angel episode or something weird. Who knows? It's been so long ago. I'll talk more about my thoughts in a second. I do have some questions and stuff like that. But Stacey, tell us about your experience, like tuning into this episode this time around, and then just overall thoughts like back in the day, all the things if you can remember.
Oh man, just trying to think about. I loved to see him, which is interesting because I think that just he wasn't a bad in terms of evil or cruel like character on Buffy or anything like that. He just didn't click with people. I mean, they all treated him kind of like shit, and I don't blame them. But then he comes up, he shows over here. I have so many thoughts about this. Oh my god. But when he shows up, I'm really excited to see him because it's a familiar face. And I think that we kind of really needed that. I mean, the show got that with Cordelia for Cordelia coming over. So it was really nice to see him, especially after 2 really heavy hitting episodes, to see him. And can we acknowledge the amazing physical comedy of Alexis Denisof's acting? Can we just appreciate him? I just absolutely adore him. And I think that what I haven't noticed before is just this very minor thing. When we still don't know who has shown up on the motorcycle, and Barney and Angel are talking, and he says, you know, who's following you? And Barney says, I don't know, but whoever it is, he's unstoppable like a machine. And we close up on the person, we don't know who it is, pulling up on the motorcycle, stopping, and the motorcycle says Big Dog on it. It says Big Dog. Did you notice that? I didn't notice that.
I'm not surprised.
Literally says Big Dog. And I was like, oh. And then, I mean, in my notes, just when I was watching it this time, I was like, in all capital letters, Terminator. because he's also like, he's a machine. And I'm like, yeah, he's a Terminator. But then it's Wesley. It ends up being Wesley.
It's so funny because just as we see, like, he's this person that portrays one way he wants to be this thing. And obviously these demons don't know shit for him. Like, he's been chasing and hassling this one dude, like, who kind of is almost a nobody, but clearly is. And I don't even know if he's actually like after the Kungai demon, or if he really is after Barney, or if he's just, Barney's in line with all of these things that have been going on. So he's just kind of happening to be there upon occurrence. But the fact that he's calling himself Big Dog and talking this talk, like, but then we see these scenes in between, and it's just so hysterical to see him. He's still operating as the Wesley that was over on Buffy, still kind of geeky, still kind of charming, but just has this quirk about him. And he brings that to the show, which was always so fun. And I think it's interesting because we get to explore Wesley in a different way over on the show. So it's a fun little intake and stuff. How do you feel about Cordelia receiving the visions from Doyle and like what it can do for her?
I love that. I love that for her. I know she hates it, but I love that for her. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. I wanted to talk about, I just want to actually acknowledge the conversation Barney and Cordelia had, but I don't want to like do that now if it's too soon. But
we can talk about it when we roll through it. I have some thoughts too,
but I definitely love that she got the visions. I think that's really good for her character. I think it's just really interesting. It just adds another layer to a character who has so many layers already, as we know.
Yeah. So you chose this episode. I think I gave you like a list of ones and you were like parting gifts. Is there a specific reason why you chose this episode just in general?
Wesley's my favorite character.
He's
my favorite character.
And it's his introduction. So
I'm so happy. I think you gave me like maybe just like a few options, like maybe 2 or 3 options. And I just went immediately to parting gifts. I'm so excited about it. Yeah.
I couldn't think of a better episode to have a guest on for, honestly.
Love it.
It is a really good episode. It's one of my favorites from season 1. I like the addition of Wesley, as we've kind of already been talking about, because it is so unexpected, and it's fun to talk. It'll be fun to talk about as the show progresses. I feel like it was an interesting choice just to bring him on in general, because we basically have forgotten about him from his role over on Buffy. Cat feeder time, because it's been a while. The cat said, fuck Wesley, it's time to eat. But I'm pleased they gave him the chance to do something different and make something new for himself here. I really found the episode moving the first time I watched it too, and just learning what I had assumed, like I was saying, that blue light that Doyle passed on to Cordelia, getting the visions. I think it just opens up a lot of doors for Cordelia. And obviously I can't say too much past this episode and stuff, so I'm kind of going to leave that exploration there. Just to ponder on for a second. Shangel and a handful of other reviewers, obviously y'all know I go into some reviews just to kind of see how people felt back in the day, find some old stuff and find some stuff that people are still kind of talking about. And a lot of stuff that I was coming up with was seeing that people were like upset that the episode just rolls right into this one past Hero, and they don't feel like Doyle had enough of a mourning period whenever it came to that. And I was like, on my side of things, and y'all don't have to agree with me, but like I was like, I don't think that they rushed it or anything like that, because this whole episode is about the exploration of grief and the acceptance that Doyle's gone, especially in Cordelia's part. Angel's dealing with it in his own way, but Cordelia was obviously so intimate with him in a specific way, and she's really like having a hard time, whereas Angel's kind of a little bit more quieter and standoffish about the whole event and stuff. But the episode really does set up this beautiful send-off from his character, you know what I mean? And like they were like, well, they bring Wesley in, and like then everybody just gets distracted with that, and I was like, not really though, you know what I mean? Like I read it in depth, but I didn't take crazy notes, but I saw that coming up so much. Do you guys feel like they rushed past and just like went into this new thing and didn't give it a few episodes to say like, oh, we're sad about Doyle, or like his memory is here and yada yada yada?
I don't know. I don't think I feel that way, because it's not like they start the episode off and they have no notion toward his passing. You know, it's not like Cordelia's happy all of a sudden, it's a brand new day and it's nothing ever happened. Like the episode clearly starts off with her grieving, and I think she's now also confronted with having an ability that she's not used to having, so I think that can be like a little bit distracting, but it's an ability she was given from Doyle, so I feel like everything's directly attached to him, if that makes sense, at least in my head. So I don't think that, like, I think it's a good way to honor him in a way, to keep this element of his ability in the show.
Yeah. I mean, like, because he's still kind of here in spirit.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
even
not
in the
like
episode, but then I was continuing forward.
Yeah, and I think it was like, I guess from a business, standpoint, there's this concern, obviously, because Doyle was such an advantage with the visions. So to not have that would have kind of changed how things go forward, I think, as far as like how is Angel going to execute his job. Not that he can't, but it does obviously help to have this advantage. So I think not losing that is a continuous way to honor Doyle. It's the way that I look at it. It's like a permanent way in a way, like to keep him rooted in the show, because without that, without his ability, there would be no carrying onward with that, or just randomly giving it to Cordelia. So at least it's a meaningful way, I think, to carry his name on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of make it seem like they just rolled into another episode that hadn't. They could have just breezed by him, like started a whole new episode that doesn't ever mention him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I don't.
Like they took an episode, they gave him an episode.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. Yeah.
Y'all act like it was just gone, like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't become a forgotten memory. He's still very much with them, and it's really sweet to see Cordelia, I know, going through her grief, just like you mentioned. And I always think, what if, but like, I hate the fact that we lost Doyle, but I'm also really excited about Wesley. So I feel like I'm a little, I'm a little conflicted there. Yeah. But I feel like they do it respectively. And I think that they acknowledge it throughout the entire episode, and it's not like they don't say his name again ever, like,
right. Yeah.
He's a part of that team, the original core, and nothing can change that. But yeah, I don't see it as snubbing him. I definitely agree with you guys. I think that the episode does honor him. The characters do honor him. They mourn him, just like you said, in their own different ways. But it's nice to see, he was a character that we had 9 episodes with, and he made a huge impact.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He did. So to kind of spoil it, but it's like just the biggest breadcrumb I could ever give. Just because it's in my closing statement whenever we go to end the episode, I will let Courtney know ahead of time that Wesley is Doyle's replacement essentially on the show. So he joins the trio and he is now on the show, especially in the ending scene with him lingering around and stuff like that. It just kind of shows a lot, and we'll speak to it when we get to that. But just as we kind of go through the episode, I just wanted you to have that kind of mindset that after this, Wesley is a big part of the show and stuff like that.
I'm glad you said that. Perfect.
I mean, I didn't want her like going into the next episodes too. She would obviously eventually catch on after he's been on for 2 seasons and be like, well, I guess he's not going anywhere. Yeah. Like that'd be one thing, but yeah. Essentially, I think that's kind of it for that. The last thing I had really wrote down was I thought this episode was kind of genius, because something that really stood out to me specifically this time around is how much the episode revolves around the idea of what gets left behind after someone is gone. Courtney knows all about this because she explores abandoned places all the time, so she gets to see stuff just kind of literally left behind. But Cordelia spends the beginning of the episode searching for something that belonged to Doyle because she wants proof that he was here, and she wants a keepsake or a relic, just something tangible that she can hold on to. I feel like we can all resonate with just that experience of wanting something for like a family member that's passed on, or a friend, even if it's a photo or things like that. And she didn't have any of that stuff. And what's interesting is that the episode eventually leads us to an auction, a place built entirely around the buying and selling of things that once belonged to someone. Objects change hands. There are valuables that get passed along. And in this case, the supernatural gifts and abilities are treated like commodities in that way. And Barney spends the entire episode collecting things that belong to other beings as well. The 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐸 horn, the magical abilities, supernatural gifts in general, like with the auction and all that stuff that he's trying to always sell out. Like everything just has a price tag attached to it. And meanwhile, Cordelia has inherited something too, and the episode treats it completely differently. Doyle's gift is something that can't be bought, sold, or profited from. It's a responsibility. So while Barney views other people's legacies as commodities to exploit, Cordelia is learning that what Doyle left behind is valuable because of what it's worth. And I thought that was something just so interesting as the backdrop of the episode for like the theme and everything kind of going on with it. Is like we're dealing with something that's left behind, and also dealing with an auction and like all of this. I was like, I wonder how long it takes for like this crack team of the writers and like Joss and everybody kind of come together and be like, hey, like what are some other little framework pieces that we can put in here to make this kind of special, and like just throw these little hints in here that like, or like these central kind of like subtext. I don't know how to exactly explain that. You get what I'm saying though, and I'm sure all of you do too that's listening. But I thought that was interesting to explore in that way. That was just a fun little like thing to add element wise for the episode, and I thought that was very special and unique for it. And that's all I really got to say, other than what we say as we go along. So I guess we can just go ahead and roll into the episode. The episode opens with Angel standing before the oracles, as we were just talking about them, still struggling to accept Doyle's death. He begs them to reverse time once again, just as they did before, and bring Doyle back. The oracles refuse, and they remind Angel that Doyle chose his sacrifice and that undoing it would rob his death of its meaning. Angel argues that Doyle was more than just a friend and how there is a consequence to the fact that he is gone. He was Angel's connection to the powers that be, the one thing helping him navigate the mission, and without him, he is blindly unaware. The oracles remain unmoved, telling him that when one door closes, another opens, ominously speaking that all will be made clear before Angel can press further. They dismiss him from their realm, leaving him no closer to getting the answers that he wants. I love how they just like sling his ass out like every single time that they're just done with him. Just to say they're always like, we're done with him. This like Randall or whatever the fuck, I don't remember I mean, he's a male oracle. I don't remember what his actual name is, but his name in real life was Randall. He's just always like waving that hand when he's walking around. I'm like, boy, like he is the epitome of bitch bye. Like, he should have been over on the other show whenever they were trying to get Angel the fuck out of there. But like love the fact that like it's kind of an abuse of his privilege in this way, I guess, that Angel's trying to like have, because he goes right back to the oracles to be like, oh, you did it once, like why don't you reverse time again? And I feel like that's kind of unprecedented. It's nice to say that this is how he's mourning his friend, being like, go change time, like this can't happen. Like he's seeing the bigger picture too. He's not just like grieving a friend, he's also saying like, do y'all not realize that I don't have a connection to the stuff or whatever? But you know, obviously they're hearing those little voices in their head, they're already seeing what the future holds, so they're like, just wait and see and you'll find out. And he's like, that's not an answer. And they're like, well, bye, whatever.
They're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
But how nice. Like, this is like the one time we really get to see it from Angel, how stressed he is about it. Because it really, like I said, it shifts to Cordelia, more so mourning Doyle more than anything. Because she even tries to get Angel to talk here in a little bit, and he doesn't really want to say anything, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Back in Los Angeles, a frightened demon races through an alley in broad daylight. Close behind him, a mysterious figure dressed entirely in black leather pursues him relentlessly on a motorcycle. Big dog.
Go back and check it out. I swear to God, it's funny.
I'll never miss it on future rewatches. The chase cuts through the city before the demon manages to disappear, though it's clear his pursuer is not giving up. That's a pretty cool like little thing too, just because he's running down the shot. You got the birds fluttering out the way and stuff, and he's just pursuing him down this thing, and then it like just clips to black, and then we cue the Angel theme. Okay, I'm done. Stacey starts pulling out her guitar and she's like hits the bobbleheaded Angel in the background. He's just going for it. Which, by the way, you guys, this bitch has like a fucking 2 feet Angel behind her.
He's 3
that's
foot.
A bobblehead. So 3, excuse me, I can't see him. He looks 2 feet on the thing, but like
that makes it so
sense.
much better.
I was gonna say 8 earlier whenever we came in here, not like initially, but after I started recording, I was gonna bring it up because he's kind of just staring at me. I keep seeing his eyes every now and again when you show your face, and I was gonna be like, you guys, she's got like an 8-foot statue, but then they would literally see some 8-foot thing in their mind, and I didn't want to like put that out.
Right, because 3 feet is not weird. I think it would be weird regardless.
He's just a wee little Irishy man.
That's right.
At Angel Investigations, Cordelia searches the office for anything that Doyle left behind. She looks through coffee mugs, hoping to find some small object that proves that he was there. When Angel points out that Doyle never had a special mug, and yes, Cordy, I do think he should have had one, she realizes that's exactly the problem. There is almost nothing tangible left behind, no possessions or keepsakes, nothing that feels like evidence that he even existed. Angel suggests she takes tongue twisters. I always do this myself. And it's not even really that I do it myself, it's just words. Angel suggests she take the day off, but she recognizes what he's doing. She accuses him of trying to isolate himself in his grief, and unlike Broody Boy, she believes people are supposed to share their pain. So like it or not, she's not going anywhere. Except right now, because she's got to go. I love when she does that. She's like, I'm not leaving. And then she's like, beep, 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 beep. She's like, oh, I gotta go. And I'm like, the fuck, so Cordelia. A strong but not, because her watch alarm goes off reminding her of an audition that she needs to attend, all for the sake of her. Anything that's got to do with her, she's gonna like go for that. She insists she's coming back afterward though, so Angel better not get any ideas and heads out. Like, ideas about what? Like, Angel tried to do that stuff back in Amends. He's not having bad thoughts right now. She's like calling it out on him though. She's like, even though you don't want to say anything, I know you're like hurting over this. The moment Cordelia opens the door though, she nearly collides with the same demon from the alley. The nervous visitor introduce himself as Barney and begs Angel for help, already knowing who he is. Cordelia asks if she should stay, but Barney encourages her to go break a leg, noting he senses some performance anxiety and encourages her to use that tactic of picturing everyone dead, not in their underwear. I like this whole interaction, like, just because, like, obviously this we don't really know what he's talking about. We learn specifically that he's an empath demon and he can read people, which is such a cool, like, just to speak more into Barney here. Obviously we can talk about him more as we go along, but just to have this ability as a demon to pick up and read people, like whether that be through their aura or like however, whichever way. Like, I love the empathy. I always think back to when Phoebe over on Charmed eventually got the power of empathy and stuff and was able to sense people's emotions, read their, like, almost like their thoughts in a way, just know what was being provoked within them. I think that's a really cool thing to have. Like, I would love to have that. I mean, that's I don't know, to be an empath, like, they put a twist on it in a supernatural way, because everybody in the, especially if you're a witch, everyone's always like, I'm an empath, I'm so sensitive to others. Not to hate, I am too. But we tend to say that a lot, and Barney quite literally means it. So to put that twist on it, to be like, this is how that power would be if it were supercharged, or if it had like a, you know, just like witches, like they light a flame and stuff like that, but like most people be like thinking in our minds that we can just wave our hand and fire our fingers and stuff like that. We all wish we could, but you know, in our own way. So that's a really cool thing for him. But I like how it's already breadcrumbing us without it being like hardcore, because he hasn't even mentioned it to Angel. He and Barney move into Angel's office, and before Barney can speak to what he's there for, he has to irritate Angel with vampire stereotypes and clarify that he's a demon, as if we couldn't tell. Because he's like, and by the way, I'm a demon. And Angel's like,
I love it.
Are you serious? He's like, you came in and like, Barney's what, like, his complexion's like this reddish kind of mauve color or something like that, very pinky red. I'm like, they love to do red for these demons apparently, because we had the demons that were over on the bachelor party episode that were like hot red. I'm like, okay, now we got a little twist, a little lighter blush shade. It's like he's really embarrassed all the time, that's why his skin's this color. But no, whenever you come in here, you can definitely do that. But I love how they, like, he came in and he already knew Angel was a vampire, so he's already seeking him out for a specific reason, which is kind of interesting, because we're like, how does Barney know about Angel, especially with him knowing all the supernatural stuff that he clearly already knows, since he runs like whatever this business is that he runs in general too. But I just like how when he mentions it, he pisses Angel off, because he's like, bro, like, that's a stereotype. I don't have a fucking coffin.
I love it when Angel gets pissed off like that. It's hilarious to me.
It reminds me of back in Lie to Me, whenever he's down in the little, I don't know what to call it, but the hangout spot for like the people who want to be vampires and stuff, like with Chanterelle and these other guys. And Angel's like, these people don't even know how vampires act, how we dress, blah, blah, blah. And then that guy walks by and he's wearing the exact same outfit that Angel's wearing.
I love it.
He's like, what the fuck?
So I live for those moments. I just love
literally
it.
Though.
Yeah.
I think that's why he gets so mad though, is because he knows the stereotype half the time is true. So except the coffin part. Yeah. For some of them. Meanwhile, Cordelia arrives at her audition and quickly discovers that she's not emotionally prepared to be there. In the middle of reading cheerful commercial copy about stain removers, not so cheerfully, when her grief overwhelms her, she begins sobbing mid-take. That shit kills me when she's trying to do this. I laugh. I mean, I feel bad for her for this whole moment, but I'm just like, Cordelia, like, girl, you need to take a minute, because you were blowing this shit already. She's just like blubbering and shit. The casting directors awkwardly encourage her to try again, but this time, you know, maybe approach it from a happy and up state of being, because we want to be happy that the stain is gone. I mean, if you want to go with that take for the first time, I mean, obviously that's really upset that the stain was there, but I think she's just misreading the mark a little bit. Obviously, we know she's got a thing going on, but I'm just like, maybe twist it a little bit, be happier after, Cordelia. She attempts to continue after pulling herself together, and I love how pulling herself together is like clenching onto her chest and jumping up and down a bunch of times. I'm like, Cordelia. And just when you think she's going to nail this audition, a blinding pain tears through her head and she grabs onto it. She staggers through her audition while experiencing her first vision, unable to understand what she's seeing or why it's happening. I know these people are like fucking terrified when this goes down too, because like they've probably seen so many people auditioning for this day. You know what I mean? Like, had a bunch of casting call people coming in, and there's this bitch over here going, it's more effective casting. Like, I'm just like, that's not even the whole sentence, Cordelia. She's getting like every other word out and stuff. Like,
they're like,
Cordelia
nice
was like, Charisma's like, how would oh my god, why am I like Glenn Quinn, how would he have done this? Because I watched him all the time like grab his head and like do these things and stuff. She's like, I'm gonna really immerse myself in this experience since this is what I've got to do now. Like, such a chance. Courtney, what did you think about like just this moment of her having her first vision?
So unfortunate for Cordelia to have it at this time, but also so on brand for Cordelia in a way. Like, of course, she couldn't have just been at Angel Investigations, sitting at the desk or minding her own business or not in front of a panel of people auditioning for a commercial. So I feel for her in so many ways, you know, and I'm sure that that's like a lot to process, to realize, oh shit, I have this thing now that I don't know anything about, you know, like you don't know if there's a means to an end. You don't know if you want there to be a means to an end. You don't know if you want this thing at all to be happening, but you do know it hurts like fucking hell, you know? And so like to even have the thought of something painful like that reoccurring to you without any kind of warning or anything like that, regardless if the reward is like a vision or whatever, you know, like I think upon impact, it can't be the best feeling to have to process that that's now happening to you, you know, and especially in this case scenario where she's like auditioning for.
I don't know, like that was gonna be one of my points. Is just like what a way to receive your first vision. Like, of course, it couldn't just go down. Like anytime Doyle got them, I mean, he might be at the bar with like somebody having a drink or something, or at Angel Investigations most of the time. He was in a decent setting. I mean, I know we had the episode or two ago where he was having a vision and people are walking by and Cordelia's like, "Oh yeah, like we're doing charades. Like he's just acting something out." Yada,
but
yada,
at least
yada.
he
Like,
usually has someone
there's
around,
an excuse.
right?
Cordelia just has to face like pure embarrassment right here because they're gonna be like,
there in front of people.
This girl has a mental issue. Like we don't let borderline personality disorder people be actors and actresses, ma'am. Sorry.
I wonder if they were like, I think the drugs just took full effect that she took like before she came in here. Like the LSD is hitting right now.
Joyce gave her a bad batch of edibles, and that's why she's doing this right now.
Literally.
I agree. I actually love her audition. I think it's just very Cordelia.
Mm-hmm.
I love when she kind of like just jumps up and down to try to kind of reset her mindset to give it another go. And I don't know, I just thought it just felt very true to her character, and I don't know. I liked it. It was a cute little scene, and they were being so nice to her. That panel, they were like, "Oh, nice adjustment. We'll let you know."
Literally though,
yeah,
I like it too because like you said, it's very on her Courtney for Cordelia. But I said Courtnelia because you're not trying to say both y'all's names at one time. But for her to receive the visions at this time and stuff, like of course Cordelia, this is why she's so twisted in her head about it. Whenever she goes back home, she's like, this just ruined my like possibility, because obviously she's striving hard to be an actress in this city, and like had this dream for herself since she moved here, and she's starting to have a little bit of her upcoments and stuff like that, or comeuppance, whatever word phrasing that is. But of course this kind of ruins it for her, so I think that just adds to her like bereavement and like her pissed offness that she experiences over what Doyle has now done to her, quote unquote, before like the realization of what he's did for her comes along, you know.
Exactly.
She's confused and just stares as they stare back, them calling that an interesting take and fairly giving her that "we'll let you know" spew, because that is not going to be happening. They're like, we'll 1000% never be reaching out to Cordelia Chase ever again. We get a quick clip outside the offices as the motorcycle pulls up and parks, opens a weapons bag, and retrieves a mini crossbow. As Barney discusses with Angel, we see him tracking something coming across a wall that has a yellow goopy-like substance dripping from it. I don't know what the fuck that shit was. Like, I know, obviously we know it's the 𝐒𝐞𝐚, like mucus or whatever the fuck, blood that's coming out and stuff like that and stuff. But I'm just like, these people on these shows, the second they see some kind of weird viscousy substance, they always want to put their fingers in it. I'm just like, at least he's wearing gloves, I do believe. I think. I can't remember in my mindset, but I'm like, no. Barney helplessly explains to Angel someone has been hunting him across several states and claims he's barely managed to stay one step ahead. He claims this guy is some sort of assassin, unsure of his pursuer, of whether it's a demon or not. He's just glad he hasn't caught him yet. Angel is skeptical because why Barney? In his experience, when a pursuer tracks someone that tenaciously, he must have a grievance against the pursued. Barney claims to be a nobody, so he's not sure why this guy's after him. Lie after lie after lie. If anybody else was an empath, they would have been picking up on his bullshit already. But we're believing him because he's selling a good story. Insisting he's just an empath who can sense the emotions of others. He admits he's occasionally used the ability to gain an advantage in cards or gambling. Yeah, people's belongings, people's visions. But swears he's not dangerous. Sure, he's a demon. He's evil, but he's, air quotes, not evil. I'm like, oh my God. There's admittance right here. Angel isn't entirely convinced, but agrees to help him out. Barney kills me. I was actually really liking Barney up until we get the twist of him like later on, because he is a fun little character and stuff like that. But like as soon as we get the switch later, I'm just like, fuck you, Barney. You're a piece of trash. I thought he was cute because he's kind of quirky and weird. He kind of fits almost like that Wesley dynamic of energy because he's kind of silly and stuff. But no.
He's super confident too. Super confident.
Well, I wonder why, because he can read everything that someone's thinking, feeling, and action-wise, so he knows how to like literally be a manipulator. He needs to go be a therapist. Is what he needs to be.
He's arrogant.
Yeah.
He needs to be an arrogist, a therapist who's arrogant. Back at the office, Cordelia comes through the door and with a simple stride moves directly to Angel. Before he can react, she grabs him and kisses him. Angel is completely caught off guard, expressing she's grieving and maybe misconstruing their relationship, and Cordelia quickly demands to know whether he felt anything because she sure didn't. He's like, well, why do we just do this then? Oh my god, just the fact that we got to see Angel and Cordelia kiss is one thing, but this kicks off this fucking trend of the fact, and obviously I'm gonna have to call it out every single time she does it, but like she just kisses everybody this episode to get rid of this fucking thing. I'm just like, if we had women on and like coming up in here where she'd just been making out with women too and stuff like that, like if she had the chance to be like a cat randomly appear where she'd just been kissing all over the cat trying to get a cat visions and shit, like when he says no, she becomes frustrated, voicing that means she still has it, commenting she can't believe he did this to me. Angel is confused and she clarifies she means Doyle and is rightly pissed off because she assumed their kiss really meant something, but instead he used that moment to pass it on to her.
Why couldn't it have been mono or herpes? Cordelia. I didn't ask for this responsibility, unlike some people who shall remain lifeless. I don't have anything to atone for. If they know it's good for them, the PTB better just stay out of my head.
Powers that be.
I like the fact that she says, why couldn't it have been mono or herpes? I'm like, what the fuck, Cordelia? It's so nasty. You would have that like lets you know to Cordelia that's something that she can get over. She now knows she's stuck with this and is trying to get rid of it. Whereas like the other two, I mean, yeah, herpes sticks with you for a really long time. And I think mono even can like reactivate. But at the same time, at least you know you're in the clear. Like maybe you have a spur up of it, like or a flash.
Well, at least you take medicine to like keep the symptoms at bay. Like there ain't no medicine for migraines induced by visions. Like, you know, what do you
just
say?
The regular ibuprofen for the pain afterwards, but nothing.
And then you don't know when they're coming either, so it's not like you can do preventative care. You know what I mean? Like she
just needs a tube of PTBB gone, you know, applied directly on the forehead. Fun little inside joke from me and Courtney, but also makes sense. Angel finally understands what she's talking about. She had a vision.
Another door opens. You're my link to the powers.
I am nobody's link to anybody. I lost control of my entire central nervous system getting that stupid vision. And I'm not certain, but I think I may have drooled a little.
How crazy, as I was kind of like alluding to, the fact that Cordelia just comes in here and she's like, I'm so pissed off that I have this and stuff. I mean, other than the pain that kind of comes with it, like I would be super excited that I had this new ability to do something with, especially for like someone that's on this team. Now you can continue to help Angel and stuff, but I think it's like, and this is what's so like conditioning for Cordelia, is that she's not so far along on the show yet to where she's like honoring this gift that she's been giving. She's so quick to just pass it up because she's still so superficial in certain ways. She's still coming off of her old life. She's still wanting to go, like I said, be an actress and do all of this stuff. So now she's like thinking that this is more of a setback to her life, not something that she can actually use to enhance her existence moving forward, as we can assume that that's what's going to happen for her.
Definitely. I was thinking about it and I thought, well, I think I'll save it for after actually, but yeah, it's interesting to watch her navigate through this. I guess I'll say that for now.
Courtney, were you taken aback whenever she kissed Angel?
Yeah, of course. But I'm like, can you really assume? Like nothing's ever that easy when you're past something like this, you know, whether it's like whatever you want to call it at the time, a curse, an ability, whatever, however you're looking at it. And I'm just like, you got to know that this was a, like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, like a conscious, calculated, intimate exchange. And the only reason it took place likely is because you and Doyle had a certain connection. So I don't think it's a matter of like the flu, you know, and you're gonna go, like, you're pissed off you got the flu, so you're gonna go make out with everyone and give it to them, like, something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I commend her for her thought process of, like, you know, it's like on Freaky Friday when they run really fast and they try to, like, have their bodies, like, hit each other and think that that's gonna somehow put them back in place, and you just know that's not gonna work. So I'm like, she could
There's
kiss
more work
every
that
single
needs to be
person in
done.
LA, and at the end of the day she's gonna come home and she's gonna get a migraine and have a vision. So, like, I don't know, I feel bad for her, but it is very Cordelia-esque to be like, fuck, I have a problem, I need to get rid of it immediately. Who else can I inconvenience with it? So
Literally,
I love that.
though. And that's typical Cordelia to try to, like, brush that off and, like, stuff like that. And, like, I think it's fair for her to, like, have the human reaction to be like, he used that moment to pass it to me whenever she thought the kiss really meant something, because she thought the kiss meant something differently. But obviously, like, as we'll talk about later, whenever Barney kind of makes it apparent to her, like, exactly what she's been
Right.
bestowed with, like, I think it takes on a different toll, even if she doesn't fully acknowledge it in that way. She does by the very end of the episode, but you never get to sit and ponder with these words that she's specifically saying now. But I think it's very special and adds a whole lot of, like, layered meaning to that and for her.
Yeah.
Courtney tells him about the vision, how it was an ugly gray blobby thing, and he's stressing that she can't clarify further, too wrapped up in the irritations of this burden, expressing how she is going to get it out of her, even if she has to smooch every damn metaphorical frog in sight. Barney enters at the wrong time as Cordelia walks over to him and lays a kiss on him. Nothing, except pure joy from Barney on the outstanding services Angel Investigations go to in treating their clients. He's like, you guys are really top notch over here, but, like, this is, like, I feel like I almost have to ask you every single time, like, as soon as she goes and kisses Barney, were you just like, Cordelia? Like, you were like, this is gonna be
first off, I was like, that's gross, you know. But also, I'm like, you are susceptible, you know, to, like, receiving things. I'm like, you don't also know what anyone else's abilities are, and clearly this guy's not a normal guy. So I would be scared to kiss him and get something else on top of this other, you know? So I'm just like, no, that I would be just solely, if I was doing this, making out with humans only.
She don't even care, though. Like, she sees somebody that she can possibly plan it on, she's just going for it, which is what I absolutely
I'm
love
surprised
about it.
halfway she doesn't, like, walk out the door of Angel Investigation, just place herself in the street, and every person that passes by, she's like, come here, come here.
Nah, she loves some money. You know, the bitch is about to open up a kissing booth after this episode not unfolded the way it needed to.
She's
100%
monetized off of the problem.
$5. Back in this climate today, it'd be like $50 a kiss, because, you know, you gotta actually make some profit. Angel speaks to heading out to track this person that is after their client, instructing Cordelia to try and scratch the strange gray object that she saw during her vision before he heads out to investigate Barney's apartment, noting that she needs to watch after Barney while he's gone, snarking that he better not find her and Barney macking on his couch when he returns. He's like, apparently you're kissing everybody, so, like, it's just not that theme. She's like, no, it's a one and done for me. At the apartment address given to him by Barney, Angel's investigation begins, and we see the biker is already at the location. When Angel makes it to the room number he's looking for, he gains entry, but before he can begin searching, he's kicked from behind into the room, ambushed at crossbow point by the mysterious biker standing behind him in the doorframe silhouetted within the darkness. He steps into the light, revealing himself to be none other than Wesley Wyndham-Pryce himself. He greets Angel, wagering he probably never expected to see him again, and Angel is quick to discern he hadn't really given that much of a thought about him since Sunnydale. Which is, like, I love how they put that in there, because that's all of us. We haven't thought about saying, like, if you think about it, Courtney specifically, like, the last time we saw Wesley, he was getting he had gotten armed down. Like, as soon as he goes to run up with Angel and his crew taking on the vampires at graduation, he got armed down real quick, like, got a clothesline and fell to the floor. And then the last time we see him is, like, Giles saying, like, I'm gonna go watch Wesley get put to the ambulance. He's like, can I get some painkillers? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's the last time we saw or heard from him. So that's all. I'm surprised Angel remembers who he is. You know what I mean?
I almost did.
Even though clearly, yes, clearly. But obviously, we've already heard too. Like, I can't ask that in that way, because I was like, that was in my notes to ask you that. But you've already said that you didn't really realize who he was kind of at first until he started talking and the interactions happens. But clearly now you know. He starts to ask what he's doing there, and Wesley cuts him off. He's like, up. I'll be asking the questions around. It's the comedy starts here. He's like, I'm the one in charge, pointing the weapon at Angel's chest, warning him that if he makes any sudden movements, he'll be forced to ... be disarmed casually by Angel as he just knocks the bow from Wesley's grip and it falls onto the floor. Clearly, he's the one in charge. This is the funniest fucking bit. I bust out laughing every single time I see it because it's also so Wesley. We talk about it being so Cordelia when stuff like that occurs to her. Wesley, he's got this front up and he's trying to be confident and all of that stuff, but Angel just like knocks every bit of confidence and he's like, okay, you had a question? It's just like, you can have the reins. I understand you'll beat me up and leave me within an inch of my life. So I know I can't take you on the most vicious vampire of all time. Angel comments on Wesley's new leather daddy look and motorcycle image and curious if the Watchers Council is taking on a new look itself. Imagine if the Watchers Council all dressed like this instead of wearing like tweed and suits and shit like this. Quentin Travers would never. Oh shit. Wesley explains that he no longer works for the Watchers Council. You know, since Buffy quit the council, he has no slayer and now operates proudly solo as a rogue demon hunter. In this moment when he says that, he goes to put his leg up on the bed to kind of take like a stance and he misses the bed and staggers tripping forward.
Physical comedy. He's amazing.
So perfect. And he delivers like that's what we love so much about, like you said, Alexis, is the way he delivers this. And like it's so portrayed like as if this was real life. Yeah. Like this would really be a person in existence. But it's so, again, Wesley. Angel is less impressed than Wesley clearly hoped he would be. As they compare notes, Wesley reveals that he isn't hunting Barney at all. He's tracking a far more dangerous creature that has been murdering demons across the country and removing whatever supernatural abilities make them unique. Again, like watching this as a kid, it never really clicked to me, like just because I assumed because Barney was the bad guy by the time I've watched the episode a handful of times. Like he really was after the 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬 demon, but he doesn't realize the trail is actually following Barney. This is just the next demon that he's after and stuff. And he's just been on this one case tracking this one specific demon.
Each of the victims possessed some unique power. Telepathy, poisoned tongues, healing hands. Whatever the physical source of their power, it was ripped, gouged, torn from their corpses. He's collecting powers. To what purpose, I can only guess. Fiends cut a swath across half the continent. Almost caught up with it in Phoenix. Got a pretty fair look, too. Kind of short, ruddy complexion. Short? No, on the contrary. Quite enormous and powerful. More of a yellow-green. And it seems lately to be secreting some sort of viscous fluid. Like that.
Their conversation about the demon is interrupted when a drop of that slime falls down onto Wesley's shoulder and the creature itself crashes down onto them from the ceiling. A brutal fight erupts inside the motel room. Though Angel and Wesley manage to injure it, the demon escapes through the window and disappears into the night. We've seen a lot of people hop out of windows on this show, and the way that this monster just jumps out the window and limps down the fucking street, like hits on his feet and everything, tumbles down. Like I've been talking a lot about Spike in the Initiative episode when he flips out the fucking window from the like people trying to capture him, and he like lands on his ankle and does like a twist. It looks like his ankle is just completely cracked off. And we've seen Angel go through plenty of windows. Like he was tossed out of one a couple episodes back in the bachelor party and hit the dumpster trash cans and shit. I'm just like, at least this demon fell through with some grace. Back at Angel's apartment, Cordelia struggles to make sense of her vision sketch while Barney attempts to comfort her. Using his empathic abilities, he recognizes how deeply she's grieving Doyle. Despite her initial irritation, Cordelia begins opening up about her friend. She talks about Doyle's flaws, his drinking, his terrible fashion sense, and the kindness that often hid beneath both, noting he was half demon and maybe that's why he smelled a little funny, adding that Barney kind of reminds her of him in a way, actually. I love that Barney attempts to receive that like as positively as he can. Angel returns with Wesley in tow, creating a stir and Barney as he freaks out recognizing who Wesley is. He attempts to run off while Angel tells him he is okay and moves to the bedroom to explain. Left alone with Wesley, he is surprised to see Cordy here and how nice it is to see her. Commenting on how Angel didn't mention that she was there, Cordelia, paying no attention, walks over and kisses Wesley as part of her ongoing effort to get rid of the visions. Wesley naturally is delighted by this development, and unfortunately for Cordelia, the visions remain. Again, it didn't work. Wesley retorting he thinks that kiss went way better than the last one that they shared.
Yeah.
Which is so accurate because you think about like whenever they kissed at the graduation day episode and they have that awkward exchange. We had a whole conversation about it. Everyone always talks about it. I'm just like, ugh. But this one actually like was nice because like you see her kiss him and she does it like subtly, but then he kind of pulls her back in for like a secondary one. It's very on par, like exactly how they did it the last time, but just 1,000 times less awkward than it was.
Yeah.
The only part that's awkward is he's like making that comment and she attempts to explain like what she was doing, but then she finally realizes that it was actually Wesley, and it adds insult to injury. She's like, Wesley, what are you doing here? I'm like, girl, you didn't even look at who this was before you went and kissed him.
She's just kissing everyone. Yeah.
Literally. Like by this point in the episode, Courtney's probably like, she's literally gonna kiss everybody. Like she's kissed 3 people already. Like, come on. Wesley is quick to point out he's allowing Angel to work with him because how he is now a rogue demon hunter.
What's a rogue demon?
So funny.
It's perfect.
Later, we found the gang having clarified the confusion around Wesley, and they identified the demon Angel fought as a 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬, a powerful creature whose magical horn can drain the life force of others. That is fucking wild. And I love how that all comes back later for like the kill to the what we're gonna call a 2K per slay. Barney becomes increasingly nervous when he learns what kind of demon is hunting him and begs Angel to stop it before it finds him. Wesley mentions the demon may be in the Korean district of LA because he tracked some of his blood through there, so that's where Angel is headed. Wesley's hell-bent on joining him. Angel confirms he's going to do this alone. Wesley disagrees because this is his hunt, saying Angel isn't doing it without him by his side. Angel jabs he already had someone at his side and how he's dead now, so he works alone in efforts to keep that from happening again. That whole moment is so wild. It's like a lash out in Angel's way of doing it, to be like, you know, he's a protector all the time, like for these people and stuff like that. So he's kind of being like, no, I'm not going to have someone else get hurt. But this is also a way of him kind of closing himself off, being like, I don't want another team member right now. Like he's forced to be stuck with Cordelia. She already kind of works for him. He's like, we're not bringing anybody back in. So this is kind of his way to close off Wesley and shut him down for that. I love the little close off of this too, just where we're left with Wesley and he's like grabbing at his pants and tugging on like his like dick groin area, and she's like, are you okay? He's like, oh, the pants, they tend to chafe one's legs. Wesley. Clearly that means his whole groin area is infected with red rash. He's wilding out on this, but that shit reminded me of Ross on Friends when he wore the leather pants.
Yeah. My mind goes
like,
right there.
The bathroom with that shit. Literally, as soon as this moment happened, I was just like taken back there. And every pretty much subsequent watch, I like always felt that way. I was like, Wesley gives the same exact energy. I love how he's still wearing them though, even though he's uncomfortable. Like he's really committing to the bit of like him being this persona, the personification of whatever this is that he's trying to, the rogue demon hunt. Following Wesley's lead, Angel tracks the 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬 to a spa in Koreatown. Yes, the demon spa is what I put in my notes immediately. I was like, I'm about to get a job here because that demon was funny. He all walks out like, which I love it because like it kind of plays like a horror trope as like something's watching Angel and when he steps out, it makes that like gurgling noise and you think like Angel's about to get his ass whooped up or getting some kind of like brawl with this demon, and the demon just goes, hey, do you know where they do the shiatsu massages?
So funny.
I think that's really sweet.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
He was a really nice, like it was cute, but I was like, yeah, buddy, right here. I was like, I can do that. I was like, Courtney got you too. I was like, shiatsu's just finger pressure, so we got that all day and tomorrow. I was like, if you need the foot pressure, I got you an ashiatsu. It's not just shiatsu with me. I was like, can you imagine though? Like that demon too, like he's got some thick arms. He's got these like talon kind of like I don't know, horns, if that's what we want to call them, kind of coming out of his shoulder blades. I was like, I don't know if I'm really trying to put that much elbow grease into this demon's massage though, because he about to get a relax and only massage. I don't need to do no deep tissue on him because the muscles like I'm gonna refuse work on those forearms entirely because my arm's gonna hurt me afterwards. And I love how Angel doesn't even answer him. He just turns around and walks off too, and the guy's just standing there. I was like, rude, Angel. Like, I mean, you could just be like, I don't know. I'm here for something else. I'm not here for a spa service. Angel know he's going back to get a spa service though. Gonna get some camper. He's gonna go, you know, like if this was today in time, they'd be doing the head spa treatment, and Angel go in there and get his hair shampooed and shit like that, and like styled. Whole thing.
Credit to Angel for being like bi or trilingual there. Like I was impressed when he went into that place and was talking to them. I was like, you know what? That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, like the guy at the front desk and stuff like that. Yeah. I forgot about that. I didn't put that in the like dialogue just because it wasn't like something. Nice comment, though. While Angel investigates, Cordelia continues to try to draw the image from her vision, frustrated that she can't seem to get it. Barney asks how he can help, but unless he can explain why she has to suffer with these visions, dropping the lore of her vision inheritance, speaking to how she's never going to forgive Doyle for doing this to her, he offers a different perspective to Cordelia.
I'm never going to forgive him for doing this to me.
What? Choosing you? Trusting you with an enormous responsibility. Believing that you were the only one worthy of such a rare and important gift?
Did I mention the drilling?
I get the impression Doyle didn't have much by way of possessions.
No. No, he didn't.
Seems like he gave you the most valuable thing he had.
I love this moment. I think it's my favorite in the whole episode. Just like the shift in perspective. I love when someone, just in real life even, has their own take on something, and you just flip the cube around and say, like, there are so many other ways to look at this.
Yeah.
And this one, like, even coming from a creep like Barney, who we see as like a douchebag at the end, like, he still offers this before he's like rats himself out later. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously he's still like, if she hadn't said nothing about visions, she kind of would have been safe. He would have not like hurt her. He would have just like got Angel to help him with like whoever was chasing him, quote unquote, or moved on because he's like, oh, I'm not the threat. This guy actually was after the 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬 demon. Like, who's to say that the 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬demon demon is even gonna like, he already knows you ripped off the fucking horn, that this thing's well on death's door. So he thinks his tracks have been covered. You know what I mean? So he would have never done any of this stuff. But just for him to say this, like, it always kind of hits me emotionally, because I hadn't even really thought about it like fully that way until we're granted that perspective. And like, what a way to say that to her. And you can just see how she kind of takes that in whenever he says that too. I thought it was just super, super sweet. I'm like, that is so narratively true, because that's exactly what he did. He doesn't have any possessions. And I love how the episode opens with that. And she's running around trying to find something. And then he just says that one statement of he left you with the most valuable thing that he had. Like, that literally makes me tear up.
Me too.
Just to hear it. I'm like, it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it's really, really impactful. Like you said, coming from a creep like that, which we don't know at this point, but you see her expression soften, her voice soften when it kind of sinks in with Cordelia, with what he's saying. And we know that later on, Barney is not a good guy. Like, he's got into some bad stuff, but and that's and he wasn't faking it. Like, that was a very genuine moment they were having. And I don't know, I really appreciated it. I really love how Maury can bring that to the table there and then completely do a 180 later and pull the rug out from everyone, right? It's just
good acting on his part for sure. For a guest on the episode to never appear again and get killed off too. Like, he has a lot of layers too, so he really worked for the episode. Agreed. I think it's interesting too, like, you would think if he was like an empath and he was already reading all of everything that like Cordelia's been feeling, especially being so stressed, you think he would have already known that she had these visions, and then this was the issue, because he's like, her body is like literally telling him everything that he needs to know. You know what I mean? So I'm like, how did he only pick up on this verbally whenever she says about these visions and tells him this story? You know what I'm saying? Like, just, like, I don't know if that's just like something that he can't do, or like what the case is with that. I don't know. But yeah, like, I just like that, like, mostly just because like it lets us know that Doyle's essence is kind of still around more than anything, and Cordelia needs to appreciate that a little bit better. I found a review from Critically Touched, and he went on to say, as for Cordy, she's handling the grief exactly in character as well, lamenting how Doyle left no things of tangible value behind, having to find her entire life and sense of self-worth by what she owns, as we've seen in like the prom and like Room with a View. It shows how much she really cared for Doyle when her desire is that there are more material items of his to remember him by. She places a great value on his life, and that to her requires reflection in the price-marked physical. This episode is still important to her development and learning to transcend the material and put value where it belongs. She realizes, due in great part to Barney, in a really touching scene, that she indeed has the most valuable thing Doyle ever owned, the means to the ends of his redemption. Which is like such a nice thing to get left with. I know we keep beating that in home, and this is the last time I'm gonna really say that, but it's so special that he left that to her. You know what I mean? Like, somebody that had nothing left behind. Because Doyle, coming off of being a character that's a drunk, like, he doesn't have much, like, he's run down and living in a crappy apartment, like, not as crappy as Cordelia at the beginning of the show, but like, he's like a get by the skin of my teeth kind of guy. Lives day by day. Probably, I mean, he doesn't really have a job except if Angel's paying him, but he's like doing all these things to, like, I don't know, gamble and get money and stuff like that, cheating people and shit like that. Because we see that a few episodes ago, people are after him, like back in Room with a View. And for him to be paired with Cordelia, who's so superficial and always caring about money and material items and stuff, I think this is such another layer for her to be added on, for her to be like, oh shit, I should probably stop looking at material items and start thinking about what something means in essence versus something that I can physically touch, which is an important message for everybody to really take with them. So when your friends kiss you and leave you visions, like, just be okay with it, everybody. That's my message.
Don't resist it.
AKA Courtney, I'll be kissing you soon.
Oh,
I don't have visions.
I was going to say, well, what are you leaving me with?
I hope you have a vision when I do it. She was saying, I'm going to have a vision that you a girl.
I'm going to envision something.
There you go. Back at the spa, Angel finds the demon in her room only to discover that he is slowly dying, being taken care of by an elderly lady. Back with Cordelia, she's distracted preparing coffee for Barney while he secretly makes a phone call out of sight. During the conversation, it becomes clear that he isn't a victim at all. He already possesses the stolen 𝐄𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐬 horn and has something else in mind, something even more valuable than a magical artifact. Looking slyly over to Cordelia, alluding he means her, or more precisely, her visions. This is the fucking bait and switch moment where I'm just like, mouth drop. I'm like, fuck, no, Barney, I thought you were going to be a cool guy. You're a bad guy. We don't like you, Barney. You can go fuck off. For somebody that killed that demon too, that demon was clearly harmless as well, even though its horn does something crazy magnificent. Like, that demon kind of in his death got his payback by, like, well, that's like a pun, payback. Like, like, quite literally. But like, that's a fun way to kill the guy. Like, that stole his horn. Like, you get killed with it. Like, just to say, in case I forget to say,
comes
it later.
Full circle.
Yeah,
love it.
Yep. But that's how karma works, right? Cyclical like that. Barney disconnects wires to the phone and wastes no time at all revealing his actual character along with his sinister intentions. He begins tearing into Cordelia's insecurities with brutal precision, using his empathic abilities to target every fear that she's carrying. He attacks her acting ambitions, her self-worth, her guilt over Doyle's death, and her lingering regret about never really opening up to him. Every accusation lands because Barney knows exactly where the emotional wounds are.
Never could brew the old-fashioned way. I'm more the auto drip. Sorry.
Yes, you are.
What?
Sorry. Pathetic, really.
Well, thanks for that insight, Mr. Emotional Radar.
How old are you?
That is none of your...
20-something? With your head all up in the clouds and your feet in shoes you can't afford. All self-absorbed, full of regret. Oh, poor you. Poor little Cordelia with her delusions of an acting career.
Delusions?
Well, you don't possibly think you'll succeed, do you? You're a terrible actress.
You have never seen me. How could you possibly know?
Because you know. You feel it. Your entire being is whispering it to me right now. Me, on the other hand, you gotta admit, I'm a pretty fine actor. Fooled ya. You don't like to hear the truth. No wonder your friend never told you about his demon half.
You don't know anything about me or Doyle.
I know you let him die.
It is not true.
No, but it feels true, doesn't it? Mixed in with all the pain and grief. A healthy dollop of guilt. A nagging thought that maybe, somehow, you could have saved him. If only you'd been nicer to him. If only you'd let your walls down. If only for one freaking second you gave a damn about anyone besides yourself, huh?
Let me...
So, you hate your gift. The visions? You probably would love to rip those pretty little eyes right out of your head. I know I would.
That was some shit, like her asking how would he know since he hasn't seen her act, and he's like, because I can feel it.
That was,
and I was
chilling.
Like, oh, chilling. I was about to say, like, literally chills go through my body whenever he says that. I'm just like, oh, because she is thinking it and feeling it and like knows that she's a crappy actress and shit like that. And it takes someone like Barney to finally kind of like call Cordelia on her shit and be like, bitch, you ain't gonna make it out there, and you already know that you're not gonna make it. You keep going to these little auditions. It's like you trying to save face for yourself, but you're not ever gonna do anything. And the bad part is that you already know that. Like, I don't know. I would just start crying if someone did this shit to me.
That's brutal. Yeah.
It's so brutal. That's crazy work. Critically Touched also noted that Barney using Cordelia's weakness against her. Yep. He's like, it was very Angelus-like because he lies with the truth to manipulate. And I was like, oh my God, that's so accurate. Because like, what's the first thing Angel did whenever he went evil is start manipulating and using everybody's own shit against them. Like, he even went and got Willow's fish. Listen, like, she over here just trying to feast me.
Ironically, it reminded me, even though this wasn't technically when he was like being evil, but it did immediately take me back to Buffy when him and Buffy had their like whole scheme orchestrated, and Faith
against Faith.
Yeah, and Faith thought she had like the lead on the situation, and then Angel's like, well, because it was like the same kind of play on something. Like she said something about being a liar, or somebody did, and then Angel was like, not as good as me. Yes. Yeah. And so it was kind of like the same dialogue exchange where like someone like plants the word, and then the other one is like, no, I'm gonna take that and tell you what time it really is, you know. And it was like, shit, no. So it was kind of ironic because it reminded me exactly of that, and I was like, oh.
I love that because like I just said, I didn't even think about that, but the fact that we're talking about Angelus and who is he portraying that episode? Exactly. Angelus, he's acting as he's that way. So what a master manipulator these motherfuckers are.
Right? Such good scenes. Mm-hmm. They're just so good. Oh.
Continuing on, Barney, on the other hand, he clearly is trying to make off with Angel's Best Actor award since he's fooled all of them. Full circle ourselves. I love it. He chases Cordelia around the apartment until he finally grabs her to begin restraining her so he can get his hands on those eyes of hers. Cordy is smart. I'm just gonna pause right there. You know how men be like, your eyes are really beautiful when they like you? He means that in a different way. Cordy is smart to fake a vision, one of Barney in pain, which makes him stop long enough for her to knee him and try to flee, but being half tied up, she can't make it very far. He catches her and unfortunately punches her unconscious, commenting that he didn't want to have to do that because bruises bring down the price. The Wesley winning price? No. That we never seen like Cordelia got, oh no, that hasn't happened yet. Never mind, I can't say that. I was thinking about another time like Cordelia gets smacked the fuck down. This is one of the first times we've ever seen Cordelia get really knocked out like this. Like he just full on punches her into the ground. I was like, damn. I was like, Cordelia's probably like, whatever. And I love that because I don't really have a comment to make about it later, but I love how whenever she like gets saved by Angel and Wesley, her first comment is be like, I had no doubt in my mind that you would save me. And I was like, oh, that's so great. So that lets me know when she hit the floor, she's like, Angel, please come home right now. Angel, please be here in 10 minutes. Angel, I know you got to be on the way, right? I don't know if there was any shred of doubt that she was like not going to be saved this episode because that's typically what happens.
My drawing of the blob.
Back at the spa, Wesley arrives and helps translate the 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐲's final words. At least Wesley finally changed the clothes back into something more appropriate too, by the way, because now he's back in his suit. This is where he's starting to like realize that he's not again. He's got to be Wesley again, which is so nice because Cordelia is finding this new way to be Cordelia, and Wesley's like, oh, I have to lean back into something, and maybe that can channel then something new for myself too. But you kind of almost have to resort to some of the old to find those pieces and particles again, because otherwise you're just trying to be a fraud, and that's kind of what he does. Together, he and Angel start to piece together what he's saying. Demon, heart, reader, aka empath demon, aka Barney. Cordelia awakens in a new location, still tied and gagged so she can't yell. Once her vision fully takes in the room, not the visions in her head, the actual vision, the distorted vision becomes clear. The first thing she sees is a statue before her in the shape of the thing that she was drawing from her vision. I love that moment. That's such a nice little thing because we see her sketching on the little yellow notepad and like it looks weird and stuff like that, but then literally like her head laying on its side whenever she wakes up, we see what she was drawing. I was like, that was like not a clear vision. Like, not only did the powers that be send her the vision at the completely wrong time, they sent her the stupidest fucking vision they ever could. Yeah. Why not put Barney's face on a fucking platter for her and be like, with him holding the damn 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐲 horn? Like, come on now. The fuck? Like, PTB, y'all need to do better. Naturally, she starts to worry as we see her laying in her room with various oddities. She pretends to still be out when she hears Barney coming in, speaking with his associate Hank about how Hank's impatient as fuck to gouge out Cordelia's eyes and dump her body, carrying around a pair of extractor tongs. This motherfucker Hank. Weekly wigs all day and tomorrow, just to stay ahead of time. Barney argues they get more money if they sell the eyes still within the seer, so they won't be doing this. Besides, Hank needs to be cataloging the gypsy flesh. That shit just kill me because like Cordelia already wakes up and sees all these spooky little things in the room, and then like he's over here talking about gypsy flesh. I'm like, so they also killing fucking women for damn gypsy's flesh? What the fuck does gypsy's flesh do? Is that a magical spell ingredient? Like, I know Willow was talking back in Pangs about how, like, there's a good bit of magic that works well with an ear in the mix. So I was like, magic's some weird shit, just to say. Obviously, as practitioners, we already know, but I ain't never seen gypsy flesh on Etsy or at no magical store.
On Etsy.
I've been to a gypsy
You're not
herb
going to find that
apothecary
at a
shop.
metaphysical store.
Not at all. But if you need it, call Barney, you guys. But not really, because he's dead. You possibly can call Hank, because apparently he's still alive. Back at AI, Angel and Wesley rush down into his apartment to search for Cordelia, only to realize she's been taken and they are too late. As Angel searches for clues, Wesley blames himself and finally admits the truth about his departure from the Watchers Council, how he was fired, how his failures involving Buffy and Faith destroyed his career, and underneath all that bravado, he's terrified of failing yet another young woman who depended on him. That's so crazy. Like, I love this, like, epiphany he's kind of having, but also how it's not really an epiphany. It's kind of just like the reality of, like, how he hasn't really been able to go that far in his existence and stuff. And the fact that he calls back to, like, Buffy and Faith as, like, failures, and now he's saying, like, if I can't help save Cordelia, that's just putting another person on the list that I wasn't able to help in a certain way. So it lets you know that Wesley really wants to do good. You know what I mean? Like, he's always been in this position, but it also shows that his, like, mindset has shifted a little bit since he's been let go of the Watchers Council. And in my opinion, that's the best thing that ever happened to Wesley.
Yeah.
Shangel's review says, Wesley being incompetent at everything was what made me enjoy his character on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. To my surprise, hearing Wesley being so hard on himself and proclaiming that he's a useless failure was oddly upsetting. It's the very first time that we get to see Wesley as something more than just comedic relief or an authoritative voice of the Watchers Council. Since leaving Sunnydale and being fired by the Watchers Council, Wesley's life is falling apart. He's directionless, and he's been traveling the United States alone, hunting demons and vampires to try to prove that he's useful for something. He was treated like a joke by the Scoobies. His Slayer turned evil. He was fired, and he's been alone for months and months. How can you not feel sorry for this guy? Wesley traveling the U.S. fighting demons was Wesley's way of trying to make amends and seek redemption for his failures in Sunnydale. Angel is a show that the mission statement is all about redemption. Wesley's life and current mental state fits perfectly with the theme of the show, and I love that every character on Angel thus far has been a highly flawed character seeking redemption. They're so much more interesting than a regular hero character. And I was like, that summarizes everything that I feel like I could ever say about this character and his switch onto it, because that's exactly what's been happening on the show. Even for someone, Cordelia, to have arrived on this show coming off the turmoil of everything she's experienced in her life. And it's like almost like things were directly set in motion for her to start experiencing life in this fresh way. We were just talking about her shift from the material and all this other stuff. This was Wesley's wake-up call. Everyone's had a wake-up call, starting with Angel, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that he's arrived on this show and he's having this moment. And just like Shangel said, I kind of felt that same way for him when he says that and he's starting to admit his failures and stuff. I'm like, damn, like I didn't expect to feel this bad for Wesley this episode, which automatically made me start liking him as a character. And the more we see of him, I just grow to love him more and more and more, because spoiler alert, myself on Angel, he's also my favorite character. I think out of the Buffyverse, he has one of the most in-depth character arcs that we ever experienced throughout, and on top of Buffy herself. You know what I mean?
Incredible.
Like in just certain ways, like the way they write him and do stuff with him, it's just chef's kiss. So can't say anything too much, but you know.
It's so good. It's so good.
But I love the callbacks too, just to hear him talk about Buffy and Faith and stuff like that too, and the Watchers Council and all that stuff. It's just like reminds you of a different time. While Wesley spirals into self-doubt, Angel discovers Cordelia's crumpled drawing. Turning it sideways, he suddenly recognizes the image. It's a sculpture called Maiden with Urn. Love how Angel has this like photographic memory, just to say, like he knows everything and he's read a lot of books, so he knows his history.
Another callback. Because we know many times in Buffy how he's got this oh my god, my brain's not working right now. Photographic memory. Thank you. Sorry. But it just keeps coming back, and what a fantastic little, I don't know, ability that he has. It just keeps coming in and he just keeps using it, and it's just, I don't know, all these little things about Angel that we unfold during his show that we never get to see these layers from him on Buffy. It's just really nice. It's really nice. So I love seeing it. Yeah.
We found out the vision wasn't random. Maybe it was showing him where Cordelia would be taken. Wesley says that they will find out where the sculpture's current location is, because that's where Cordelia will also be. And then Angel can go rescue her. Angel securely telling Wesley that they will rescue her together and that he needs Wesley's help translating, mentioning again the phrase that the 𝐒𝐚𝐬𝐬 demon kept repeating. Clue. Oh, hold on. It's a tongue click. I can't do it because my mouth's dry. Clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should kill me. He just keeps saying that shit every day. I'm just like, okay, Wesley. But also Wesley, just like talking about Angel knowing these other like languages and stuff, Wesley's like the same kind of energy. So this is very useful. Some time passes, and Angel finds the statue was sold to a hotel chain, and it must reside in one of the 12 hotel locations in California. For a second, I thought they were going to have to go through all fucking 12 locations before they found out. I was like, Cordelia's shortly dead. Wesley comes in having found the translation meaning caller's cell, eventually realizing the phrase means auction. Over at the hotel, a secret auction for rare supernatural items is already underway. Barney's selling the 𝐄𝐸𝐲𝐬𝐬 horn to a bidder before presenting their next item for sale, the magnificent eyes of a seer, aka Cordelia. Barney enthusiastically presents her eyes as a direct connection to the powers that be, and the bids commence to a room full of anxious buyers, both demon and human appearing. I wrote my notes. I was like, damn, I'm mad he started a boring 2K per slave. He's like measly $2,000 for like to start Cordelia at all. And I was like, I think that like might be jacked up a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Like she needs more, and Cordelia clearly agrees with that in a little bit too. Thankfully, it does get up to about 11K, but staggers, and Cordelia begins to raffle her bids higher, speaking to extra things that her eyes can do, clearly an effort to stall for time.
For 11,000 once, twice.
Hey, you know you pay twice that for cataracts. These eyes are flawless even without the stupid vision. Is that the best you can do? You know what these eyes can do? They can see stuff like danger and evil and locations of buried treasure.
Okay, Cordelia. But like, of course Cordelia would do this too. This is kind of like one of them times where Cordelia doesn't realize she needs to be shutting up because like they're trying to sell her, and she's like, hold up, only $2,000? I'm so worth more than that. Like, I'm just okay. She's determined not to be undervalued, and she insults the bidders and manipulates them into driving the price higher and higher as two people battle between one another, getting up to about 20K before the demon bidder kills its opposer and appears to be the winner. These people like kill me. I don't like that. This Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson's cool, but this redheaded like pale-faced black lip demon scares the fuck out of me for some reason. Like not naturally this day and time, but when I was a kid, something about it and all these other demons in the room just really put like me on edge for some reason. I don't know what it is like about them,
it's
but
the whole setting. I think for me, I'm just like, it's giving an inappropriate energy, and I don't like it. Like it's like you're bidding on people. Well, in this case, you're bidding on a person, so to speak. But like, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole energy of it is just sleazy. But the guy that he's bidding, or they are bidding with, because I don't know their status as far as gender goes. But the one next to him looks like Guy Ferrari or some shit like that, because he's got like platinum blonde, spiky hair and shit. I'm just like, don't you live on some like Hell's Kitchen or some shit like that? Like, what are you doing here? Just like, the fuck. Either way, he appears to be the winner, but no, a woman in the room who's been on the phone calls out 30K per eye slay, and Barney yells sold to the lovely lawyer from Wolfram & Hart, and then all of us go, oh, fuck, look at even Courtney. She's like, God damn, not Wolfram & Hart again. Already a theme. I love it because like we've only been breadcrumbed with them, and we kind of learn more about them in Sense and Sensitivity whenever it comes to like what they're like, the capability of their strings pulling, which we already kind of knew initially from the beginning of the season when they were help covering up all the shit that what's his face, the vampire that was protected by Wolfram & Hart. Once the auction concludes, Barney hassles the lawyer for more money to extract the eyes, since she's voiced her bosses have no need for the body. They're like, fuck Cordelia. And she eventually agrees, and he moves over to Hank, who's dying to fucking use these extractors on Cordy. Like, he is so antsy about this shit. He's like, yeah, it's time, let's do it. And Barney's bitch ass goes like, hand them shits over so he can do the deed. Hank gets pissed the fuck off because he clearly has been begging to do this.
Hank, give me the extractor.
I want to do it. You know that I have been begging you.
You're embarrassing yourself. Hand it over.
And like, he just hands them over. He like gives up way too quick. I would have just started prying her eyes out. Like, if I wanted to do it that bad, I would have just been like, well, I do one and you do the other. It's called 50-50, motherfucker. Like, sorry. Just as things look hopeless and Cordelia begins to freak out, Angel and Wesley burst into the room. They don't really burst into the room. They run through the fucking thing. They find where the auction is and do all these things, but essentially they end up making it there. Just as they... Oh, that's already what I said. Hold on. And then a massive fight breaks out, and throughout the throughout the auction hall. Angel takes on the guards and supernatural buyers while Wesley rushes to free Cordelia, attempting to cut the ropes binding her. Once free, Barney and Wesley duel it out as the lawyer flees the scene, calling her bosses to tell them the item has been taken off the market. I love how you don't get to hear the other side of the conversation, but you can clearly tell, like, someone asked, like, oh, really, by who? And she goes, 3 guesses by whom, letting them know, like, it's this fucking Angel dude again. So I'm like, oh shit. Clearly these lawyers are starting to get pissed off that Angel keeps getting in the fucking way. Wesley holds his own for a bit, but when Barney gains the upper hand, Cordelia spots the stolen 𝐄𝐸𝐤𝐬𝐬 horn nearby. Without hesitation, she grabs it and drives it into Barney's back. The horn drains his life force instantly. His body shrivels, blackens, and collapses into dust, aka we get the 2K per slay at Barney's bitch ass. The threat is finally over. Cordelia hugs Angel and mentions that she never doubted for a minute that he would find her. Him acknowledging Wesley on the ground to note that he was lucky. He had a rogue demon hunter on his side. That makes my heart like sore, the fact that he said that. And you can see like Wesley's face like feels so good that he did that. He like needed to hear that.
Yeah.
But either way, he gives him his due credit. Wesley is glad that he could be of service. Back at Angel Investigations, Angel appears cooking, and at the table sits Cordelia, who carefully smooths out the drawing from her vision with an iron and places it into a frame. Rather than seeing the visions as a burden, she's beginning to understand them as something Doyle's deliberately entrusted to her.
This I framed for saving my life, and as a reminder that something of Doyle's is here in our office.
Love that. So now she has this like paper. It's almost like a tangible item. It's the first vision that she ever got and stuff like that, which is so cute because Doyle commented in Hero the first time he ever had a vision and what it was and things like that, and he ignored the call. And I think this speaks volumes that Cordelia is like, I'm not going to ignore the call for this because it means more now, and I understand that.
Good point.
Fucking
yeah,
beautiful.
Absolutely.
Wesley prepares to leave and dramatically attempts several farewells. This is so comical because he's like, off I go. I need to go off into the world. And they're like, okay, see ya. And then he's like, yeah, it's just a lot of work doing all this stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Keep in touch.
Like, are you still here? Like, what's happening? It's so cute. But he's not sure of where he will go. He lingers longer each time he attempts to leave. And eventually, Angel offers him breakfast, and Wesley accepts quick as fuck and rushes to the table. Courtney notes that one good thing about a long night of demon fighting, Angel makes them breakfast. She says we get eggs, but it's the same thing. Also, how he's a good cook for someone on a liquid diet. The episode closes with Angel, Cordelia, and Wesley sharing a meal together, unaware that Angel Investigations has just gained its newest member. We fade to black, and here endeth the episode. I love it so much. It's so cute. That was so quick getting through it, just to say too. But like, I feel like this episode, you just take it in, like whenever you're getting it. There's like a little bits to ponder and stuff, obviously, that we've discussed on it. It's so beautiful. What's also beautiful is our little bits of themes and metaphor, which is pretty apparent at this point. Parting Gifts is ultimately an episode about inheritance, grief, and carrying on after loss. In the aftermath of Doyle's death, every character is searching for something to hold on to. Angel wants Doyle back and struggles with the idea that the mission has to continue without him. Cordy searches for a physical reminder of Doyle, only to discover that the thing left behind isn't an object at all, but a responsibility. Even Wesley arrives at a crossroads, having lost his place within the Watchers Council and searching for a new purpose. The episode asks an important question: what do people leave behind when they're gone? Doyle's answer isn't a possession or a memory, but a gift. At first, Cordelia sees the vision as a burden that has been forced upon her, but by the end of the episode, she begins to understand them as an act of trust. Doyle believes she was capable of carrying on the work, even if she doesn't yet believe it herself. Barney serves as a contrast to that idea. Throughout the episode, he literally steals the gifts and abilities of others for personal gain. He sees power as something to be collected, sold, and exploited. Doyle, on the other hand, gave his gift away freely in order to help someone else. One character hoards power for profit while the other passes it on through sacrifice. More than anything, Parting Gifts is about transition. The episode begins with Angel desperately trying to hold on to the past, but it ends with something new taking shape. Doyle is gone, but his influence remains. Cordelia steps into a larger role. Wesley finds a new home, and Angel slowly begins to realize that moving forward doesn't mean leaving Doyle behind. It means carrying a piece of him into whatever comes next.
Aww.
The end. All right, a couple of Angel fun facts. This episode marks Cordelia's first demon kill, which was Barney. We've seen her slay a vampire before, but now we get to see her actually kill a demon, so go Cordelia.
Good for her.
Glenn Quinn appears for the last time in the main title sequence, and obviously he will be replaced with Alexis Denisof when we go into subsequent episodes in the future. There's one goof for this episode. The mysterious demon hunter takes off his glove to touch the yellow demon blood, revealing the black skin of his hand. And later the episode reveals that the demon hunter is Wesley, who is white. Just to say, I did not really realize that myself, but apparently I don't know if they just had a stand-in riding the motorcycle because Alexis Denisof couldn't ride a motorcycle. But I'm like, why did you take the glove off? Like, I didn't even realize that we were commenting on that earlier. I'm like, why are they always trying to put their hands on it? I was like, he's wearing gloves. No, he wasn't. Gross. What's not gross though is our final slays.
Yeah.
Final slays.
Final slays. 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸.
That's the best one.
What you guys got for quotes this episode?
My first one is when Barney first comes in and he looks at Cordelia and he's like, you scared the heck out of me. And she's like, I scared you. Look in the mirror lately.
Every chance I get.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. That follow up.
I love how he followed it up.
Yes. Speaking on
Kinda
his
pompous.
arrogance, not confidence.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then we spoke on this earlier, but when Barney was like, I just realized it's 3:45 in the afternoon, middle of the day. If you're a vampire, why aren't you in your coffin? And Angel responds, coffin? I hate that stereotype. And then Barney, after Cordy kisses him, and he's like, boy, I gotta say, I like the way you treat your clients.
Cute. Your one before that was one of mine. Stacey, you can give yours.
Okay, so my favorite quote for this episode is actually by Angel when he says, oh, and behave yourself. I don't want to find you two necking on the couch when I get back. You guys, Angel's hilarious.
He really is.
Like,
He takes a second to give a dig. Like,
Right.
Angel can be shady when he wants to
and
be.
he's got this little smirk while it's just so good. And it's
He knows what he's doing.
Oh, it's just, it kills me every time. I don't know. It's hilarious. And that's a very like old timey saying. Necking. That like the very old time. And so it's very fitting for Angel as well.
I guess that's true. I don't think I had the subtitles on, and I wrote macking because I just like naturally think macking on the couch, but he did say necking.
He did say necking, yeah.
That's
a very that's like a term my mom would have used. She's in her late 70s. I swear to God.
Come through, Angel, he's bringing it back.
Yep. So I just love that. I love it when he has those. He doesn't do that too often, but when he does, I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. I guess I only have technically one as well because the other one was gone. I like when Cordelia, like whenever Barney is saying stuff to her, like talking about her, like sitting there the way she's appearing, and she goes, that's one spooky talent you got there. You can just look at me sighing, grunting, and sense that I'm frustrating. Amazing. I was like, that sounds like some shit me and Courtney would say to somebody. It's like being that way. Who'd you guys choose for champion?
I gave it to Cordy for killing the shit out of Barney.
Killing the shit.
I gave it to Wesley. I had to give it to Wesley because I was considering a few things. Yeah, he's my favorite character. Fine. But like, I really appreciated the fact that, I mean, he became on his own accord a rogue demon hunter. He's actually he's going out there. He's trying to like do good out in the world. Now, how successful is he? I don't know. But you know what? Bless his heart for trying. And he's been like chasing Barney across several states back to California, to the LA. And I just think that he's trying. And yes, like I think that he is. You touched on it earlier when he changes outfits back to the Wesley that we know, like he's still trying to, I guess, find himself, but he's really, he has such good intentions right now. He's trying to do good. He's actually following up on like this case because there's murders happening. And I appreciate that. He's human. He doesn't have superpowers. He doesn't have super strength. And let's face it, he's pretty clumsy, that amazing physical comedy that he gives us. Like he tries though. And I just appreciate that. So he's really got to be my champion for this. Yeah.
I love that. I just chose everybody as a trio, like Wesley, Angel, and Cordelia, just because it is our new trio and stuff like that. And they came together to kind of do what they do every episode. So Wesley just fit so well right back into the gang. So
I agree.
There is that. What was wigging you guys out?
Barney.
Hank, Barney and Hank. I really didn't like Barney's shirt. And
that was weekly wigs for her.
no, I know it was supposed to, I think, kind of echo a little bit of Doyle's style and even Whistler's style, right?
He looks like that, like, what is it Buffy says in one of the episodes? She's like, you look like DeBarge. Like, the guy was like, his outfit stated. Like, I did not like the flashy kind of, I don't know what to call that fabric, but like that satin.
It reminds me of that thing like we were hating on Brandon, and I think it was season 1 of Buffy, like one of the first episodes, and it was like that guy that like they were watching Giles, I think, and Buffy were like watching.
Oh,
he was like flirting with Willow. Yes. And I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I already know. I already know what Buffy episode Brandon's thinking about just upon sight.
But besides that, I would still say Hank, because he's clearly a creep. We didn't get too much of him, which is fine. It's fine. But he was quite the ick. And in later rewatches, just through the years, after like seeing Sex in the City, he always reminded me of Ron Livingston, who played Berger in Sex in the City. It's not him, it's a different actor. I'm just saying he really reminds me of him.
I was like,
reminds me of him. It's not him, but he really reminds me.
I see that. I was just like, did I forget? Should I have given him his kudos? Like, sometimes in the guest starring people, I'll be like, and they did this back in the day and such and such, but sometimes I'm just like, I never saw this person anything else, so I'm not going to mention it. I was like, did I miss a mark?
No.
He does look like him though. Like, I can see that.
He does remind me of it, and I don't know. It makes me laugh later on, and I have some things behind me. I don't know. I wanted to talk about Maury Sterling for just a second.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie, Coherence?
Nope.
So this is like a mindfuck, like science fiction kind of movie with Maury Sterling, but also Nicholas Brendan. They've got some.
What year is that from?
This is from. Oh dear.
You said it's called Coherence?
It's called Coherence. It's not even, it's like probably like somewhere in the last
2013.
Yeah, it's not even like old.
It's not 90s or anything. Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
This is a bit of a mind fuck, and it's a good watch, to be honest with you. There's a few people in it. I liked seeing Maury Sterling in it because I just always remind me of Barney. It was the first thing I ever saw him in. And then I do see him kind of wherever I see him anywhere. I'm like, I always think of Barney. And also,
like, it's Barney.
Let me know if you've seen Veronica Mars.
Yes.
I've seen, so Courtney, you were just watching. That's got Charisma Carpenter in it.
Yeah.
Like that too, right?
My girlfriend is like obsessed with that show.
Maury Sterling was in the Veronica Mars movie for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. He played like a sheriff or a cop or something. So I just wanted to give him a shout out, to be honest with you. Yeah.
That's nice to know. Like, especially, like, I wish I had done that research, because then I could have been like, oh, he's in some movie with Nicholas Brendan. Like, I might need to check that out.
Watch this. Watch it. It's really interesting. I don't know. It's very different. I definitely recommend.
There you guys. You'll have a movie to watch if you want something new.
Yeah.
Hank was also mine for my weekly Wiggins. I wrote that his overstimulated excitement over popping out Cordelia's eyes was just too much for me. But then I also had to like give a like low-key shout out for the 𝐂𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸's demon's blood that was just like dripping all over the fucking city, and people just seeing like somebody had to have stepped in them and like, oh, these boogers, like it's just a whole thing. What was you guys that Slade moment?
Mine was Angel just casually slapping the crossbow out of Wesley's hand while he's trying to be threatening. He's just like,
iconic. That's fucking funny as shit.
That is so funny.
That would have been my hilarious moment.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. There's just so many people. You know what? I'm going to go with the heartwarming thing at the very end when they're all having breakfast, and we've kind of...
That's mine.
Yes. We've established like this new little team, like this new little family, and we're still like loving and thinking of Doyle and honoring him, but we're also embracing like these new beginnings and opportunities, and I'm very excited about that. I can't wait till you see it, Courtney. I love it.
I agree. I elaborated on that, and I was like, Angel's attitude towards Wesley, he sees Wesley, feels bad about himself, and he has nowhere to go or doesn't know who to be, and so he offers for him to stay behind with them. Obviously it doesn't show us that in full detail, but Angel helps the helpless, and Wesley is a bit helpless right now, and what better way to get on track with the person that you align highest as a fighter of evil evil than to join Angel Investigations and do some good in the world alongside him and Cordelia. And I was like, Angel is a standout guy for not pointing out failures or even acknowledging them when he does it. He just like slips in his own way in a silent, supportive way. And like, to me, that Slade to be the person for him to lean on, essentially. So I was like, oh, that's Slade to me. I was like, just the action of him inviting, like, I know you said the scene at the end, but just him inviting Wesley over to the table to have breakfast with him was my that Slade moment. Because he saw that like Wesley was lingering around, and he's like, Cordelia's saying bye, see you later, out of here. Like, Cordelia don't give no fucks, but Angel's like, I see what's happening here.
You know what? That's pretty big of him, considering how Wesley treated Angel in the end of Buffy season 3, right? I mean,
net.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's in a net, you guys. It's all over. Yeah,
I agree. It's kind of a way to make amends for that too, and like I love to see the development of everything that's going to unfold.
Me too.
All right, so they're at predictions. I actually have a couple besides our episode title for next one. Obviously, we've already seen Cordelia grow so much in the time that we've seen her on this show versus Buffy shifting Angel. So, Courtney, what do you think that this might mean for Cordelia going forward?
I don't know. I hope that since her perspective has changed, obviously, that she embraces things a little bit more going forward. So that hopefully resulting in like a lot of character expansion for Cordelia, and just like having this additional layer that we're used to having not be stripped away from us immediately. Because like I said earlier, it's such an advantage to have for everyone involved, but especially for Angel to like do his job should Cordelia like get to a place where she's able to receive things, I guess, like Doyle did, and not just be like, here's a picture of a blob. That's not very helpful. But like you said, she had a disadvantage too of like having her first vision at the worst possible time and just not being very clear. So I hope that like with her ability and with all of the things that happened in this episode, I kind of feel like this is the first good kind of turning point we have for Cordelia, which is nice to say, being that we are.
This one has so much more depth.
Yeah, it has a lot of depth and it has a lot of potential in a more positive way. You know, there's like less. I'm sure we're going to constantly be faced with problems like there tends to be on the show, but I feel like maybe Cordelia will get to a place where she's able to tap into things and let that assist her and all the things that they constantly have going on with confidence, you know, and not with uncertainty or maybe a little bit dependency on some of the other people, maybe like a way to stand on her own a little bit more.
So you kind of like are in alignment with thinking that Cordelia keeps the visions now versus trying to like figure out a way to get rid of them. I think she's more receptive.
Yeah, I would hope anyway, because I can't imagine that you wouldn't feel like you're honoring Doyle then by accepting it.
Trying to get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
My secondary question, do you think Wesley is a good match for the team?
Yes.
Cool.
Definitely.
It's plain enough in itself. Like I went on to say, like, he's the polar opposite of someone like Doyle, and we've known him to be a bookworm and whatnot, but he didn't shine over on Buffy, and everyone was always irritated with him for the most part. So I think it'll be interesting to see where we can go with him now that he's in a different position. So I think he's a good match for the team.
Yeah.
In fact, I know.
And I think it's smart of them to bring him on now, whereas like I think he had an unfair kind of like a disadvantage with Buffy, where we already had such a concrete group of people
relationship,
and
with Giles especially,
and that they brought him in, it was kind of like stepping on the toes of Giles' character, and so that leaves you feeling weird. So at least like we're coming from a place where we know him, but he has a lot of room to like still prove to us that he's like so many other things, you know, and I think we're starting to see that. Obviously he's not just like this guy who's like by the book, it's black and white, everything is like orderly, you know. He obviously is like you said, he's trying to figure himself out and he's trying to find his own way and his own identity, and I think that within itself will be like super fun to watch, especially with the people he'll be around that are familiar to him. But I'm mostly looking forward to seeing him and Angel's dynamic, because I just know it's going to be hilarious.
All right, great. Our last one, our typical. The next episode's title is Somnambulist.
Somnambulist. Oh, like, is this about like sleepwalking?
Oh, I love how that you knew what that was. I was prepared to give people a vocabulary lesson.
Oh, I used to sleepwalk, so I know a little bit.
I never knew what that meant until this episode.
Oh, really?
But yeah, there's some sleepwalking going on. What do you think that means?
Oh shit!
Who do you think sleepwalking?
Was it somebody we know? I thought it was just like a sleepwalking demon. Okay, no, this makes more sense. So someone gets okay. Is it Angel?
Yeah, sort of.
Oh shit! Is it everyone?
Maybe.
I don't know how to really like breadcrumb that or like really where to go from and stuff like that. But like, yeah, I mean, like it has a theme of it. Maybe he thinks he's sleepwalking because some actions and stuff are happening and taking place, and maybe he thinks he's at large for these items having occurred or these instances having occurred. So we'll leave it at that. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right, guys, that's it for parting gifts. So now we have to part with you. Hope you enjoyed this gift of an episode. You guys see what I did there? Did you all assume Cordelia got the visions during that kiss before you made it to this episode? Do you feel they brushed by everyone's grief, or did they give it what it deserved? Give Doyle his ending that he deserved. Do you think this was the best direction for Cordelia's character? Did Doyle make the right call by passing the visions on to her? And what do you think about Wesley officially joining Angel Investigations? Let us know, because obviously we'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for coming to cover this episode with us and get our first Angel guest out of the way.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know, I appreciate it. Why don't you let everyone know where they can find you on social media, what you maybe have going on, and anything new that you're working on. If you want to like plug anything, go for it. Here's your time.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I have another pin that I've had in hand for 8 months that I have not released yet officially. I don't know when I will, but definitely stay tuned for that. I'm thinking perhaps maybe August, give or take. I'm really excited, and I've got tons more ideas, so I'm going to be working on some new ones soon as well. You can find me Hyperion Horrors on TikTok, even though I'm terribly bad at posting on there, really bad. And also Hyperion Horrors on Blue Sky and Instagram. But I'm most active on Instagram. So yeah.
Clearly I'll tag you
say
and everything
hi.
so that way they can find you.
Yeah.
All right, well that's it, you guys. We'll be back next week with another episode of Buffy, so we'll talk to you all then.
I'll be off then. Farewell, Angel. Who knows when our paths will cross again.
Wesley?
Do you even know where you're headed?
Rogue demon hunters rarely do. Wherever evil lurks, wherever the forces of darkness threaten humanity, that's where I'll be.
Oh, okay. We'll keep in touch.
Yes. Yes, I will. But now, evil lurking everywhere bids me onwards. So, I go.
Take care.
Yes. No rest for the wicked fighters. Through storm and rain, heat, famine, deep, painful, gnawing hunger, I go.
Breakfast?
Ooh. I suppose so.
One of the perks of the job, after an all-nighter of fighting the lurking evil, we get eggs.
Toast? Please.
I'm famished. He's a good cook for someone on a liquid diet.
Astonishing, really. Did you say something about toast?
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Angel on Revamped. Be sure to join us next week for a new episode release as we continue the fight for redemption. We would love to hear from you, so share your thoughts and perspectives on this or previous week's episodes by following us on Instagram and sending us a DM at revamped_rewatch podcast or by emailing us at revampedrewatchpod@gmail.com.
And if you're interested in a world left behind, check out my show, Echoes of Elsewhere, an urban exploration podcast where I uncover the hidden mysteries of forgotten places, interview other explorers, and share with you my tips and tricks of the trade. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Until next time, remember, if nothing we do matters,
then all that matters is what we do.
This podcast is dedicated to the Buffyverse, to its fans, and my sister, Tiffany Dawn Pearson.